Well, I don't know.
Are we going to eat it? I think we're going to eat it.
I think so. Oh, what do you have? Oh,
Baby elephant. Okay.
sleeping? Wait,
Oh, there's bulls.
here, just a sec. First of all, we got to do the big thing. Open it and smell. It's just freshly popped. Take a big. No, not yet. Not yet. Can you smell it? Can you smell it? Here, make sure you can smell. Okay, you can smell it from there.
I'm hungry now.
Okay, just a sec first. What does the smell of popcorn remind you of?
Hungry.
Butter?
Hungry.
What else does the smell of pop reminds you of being hungry?
Food. Melted
Food?
food.
Does it remind you of any events or activities? What?
It reminds me of things that should be in my mouth right now.
Things that should be in your mouth right now. Movie theaters. Popcorn's like going to the movies, isn't it? Anything else popcorn reminds you of?
Food.
You know, popcorn reminds me of my grandparents. Whenever I'd go to my grandparents, my grandma would make fresh popcorn in the popper. Like she had the old poppers that make popcorn. And then she would, yep, okay. And then she would melt butter in the microwave and pour fresh butter on the popcorn. Are there any smells or sights or sounds that remind you of Jesus? Can you think of anything that reminds you of Jesus? What reminds you of Jesus?
Food.
Food reminds you of Jesus? Yeah, why does food remind you of Jesus?
Because Jesus gave us food.
Yeah, Jesus gave us food, right? The bread and the wine at communion. Here we have that. Anything else that reminds you of Jesus? I know I'm wearing something special today. Yeah. And we have a different one in the sanctuary today than normal, don't we? Do you see a different cross than normal? Where do you see? Okay. There you go. Do you see any cross that's not our normal cross in here? Look around. What do you got, Mickey?
That cross.
Yeah, this isn't our normal cross, is it? This one's big. Wow. Why do you suppose we have this cross in here right now?
Easter's coming up and Jesus got on Easter.
Yeah, this is our Easter cross. Right? Well, right now it's our Lent cross, but it's going to become our Easter cross. What do you got, Mickey? Just a second.
Why, I was thinking if Jesus died on the cross, you should put like nails in the cross or something.
We should have nails on there? Well,
And there's a cross up there.
Well, if you look down here, you see those two square holes at the bottom there? And there's a hole right up there and a hole over on the other side too. So there's been nails in this cross. Think of anything else that reminds you of Jesus? Any sights or sounds or smells? What? Food. You're back to food? What about water? Does water ever make you think of Jesus? I know, because we get that baptism over there, and that's where God said, "You are my child." Just like God said to Jesus, "You are my child." What's on top? Oh, that's a dove. It's an outline. It's on the other side. You have to turn it around. That's like a dove. And the dove came down to Jesus, just a sec. The dove came down to Jesus at his baptism. And so that dove there also is something that reminds us of Jesus and God's presence with Jesus. You know, in today's story that we're going to hear in just a second, Mary is going to pull out some perfume. Just a sec. Yeah, some perfume. She's going to pull out a lot of perfume. She's going to pull out a pound of perfume, okay? And she's going to take a pound of perfume and she's going to pour it on Jesus' feet. And then she's going to wipe his feet with her hair because she's got really long hair. And she's going to clean his feet with her hair. And the whole room is going to smell with this perfume. Just like you guys can smell the popcorn. And this perfume, I betcha every time from then on, whenever the disciples smelled that scent, they probably thought of Jesus, don't you think? They thought of what Mary did with Jesus. And do you know why Mary pours out all that perfume Okay, this is the last bit. Well, just a moment ago in the story, Jesus had raised Mary's brother Lazarus from the dead. And so this is Mary's way of saying, I got to say thank you. And Lazarus, of course, when he was dead, he started to stink a little, because that's what happens. And so Mary wanted to replace that bad smell with the smell of her joy for what Jesus has done. And so just like popcorn reminds you of the movies, and the smell of fresh bread reminds me of Jesus, and the cross reminds us all of Christ, this perfume is the way that Mary says thank you to Jesus, and it reminds her and all of her disciples of the joy that Jesus gives them from the promise we have of God's love. Will you guys say a prayer with me? Say, God, please send us sights and sounds and smells and people and things and events and activities that remind us of Jesus and your love every day. Amen. Thank you guys for coming up. As long as you're careful, you can take this popcorn back to your seats, whatever you got left.